What it do, peeps? It's the Beat Chef with Watch the Damn Tape. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe button. Hit that bell to get notified when I drop my next video. New subscribers, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you get something out of the content. To my day ones, thank you for helping me continue to build this platform and push this WNBA conversation. Gotta get into this Fever Liberty game. This was a joke. It was a repeat of last week. Almost to the T. Almost to the T. Sloppy game. Basically, both teams were playing sloppy. Both teams had a lot of turnovers early. A lot of turnovers. The only difference is the Liberty played the best when it came down the stretch. It was a slim lead at halftime. Both teams played like crap, but there was a couple things that stuck out to me in the first half. One was Sophie Cunningham was hitting threes. Kelsey Mitchell was playing well, driving to the basket. They were passing the ball. For the life of me, I don't know what happened in the second half. I know Sophie Cunningham got her ankle rolled up on by Isabel Harrison. That should have been a foul, which was kind of like a dirty play to me. How she just rolled up. I mean, she was already fouling. She only had one hand on her arm. She didn't even have two hands on the ball, and they called a tie up. I just thought that was weird. But Sophie Cunningham got hurt, but she was still balling. She was still playing well. A lot of defensive lapses by all of them. Hull, Sydney Colson and Lexi Hull. There was a particular play in the first half. Lexi Hull came down, had Breanna Stewart 15 feet away. Could have drove in, took an easier shot. She shoots a three. Long rebound. Sabrina Ionescu gets the rebound. Is on the break, running downhill. Sydney Colson's closer to Sabrina Ionescu. Sydney Colson reaches back and points to Lexi Hull to take Breanna Stewart. I'm not sure what the hell Lexi Hull was doing or smoking, but she completely forgets that Breanna Stewart was running as well. Breanna Stewart gets the easiest layup off a pass from Sabrina Ionescu, and I'm sitting there like, okay, clearly, you guys do not communicate. And it showed the entire first half. Even Stephanie White alluded to the number of mental lapses on defense, and you could see it because they do not talk. They do not talk. Second half, it's like 46 to 42 going into halftime. The third quarter, it was more of the same. Discombobulation and whining at the refs. And one thing I can't stand, you know these refs suck in this league. Just deal with it. Aaliyah Boston constantly checks out in any game in which she gets bullied. And Jonquel Jones was starting to warm up the bullying on Aaliyah Boston's ass, and Aaliyah Boston couldn't handle it. Aaliyah Boston cannot handle physicality. She is a finesse center. Banging, she might bang with somebody she ain't scared of, and you look like, ooh, wow. Aaliyah Boston looks great. You know, she scored 25 against the Connecticut Sun, or she might have went off on Tina Charles' old butt. But when it matters, Aaliyah Boston shrinks. And every time, and that was the difference in this game. That first New York Liberty game, Jonquel Jones didn't play. Jonquel Jones hadn't played in over a month. She hadn't played since June 19th. This was her first game back. And she was going to town on Aaliyah Boston in that paint. When Jonquel Jones plants her feet, you are not moving Jonquel Jones. So the third, there was a pivotal moment in the third quarter. Sophie Cunningham hit a three. It was around the 9-minute mark. That made it 51 to 44. She comes back and hits another three at 7:20 mark. Kelsey Mitchell comes right back after that. They hits another three. They get a nice little lead. And you're like, okay, can they get the defense together? And then there was a few possessions where they basically played the All-Star game in a regular season game. A lot of freaking turnovers. Nobody calming the offense down. Everybody's coming down, jacking up threes. Lexi Hull's shooting threes like crazy. Now Kelsey Mitchell's trying to shoot threes. They go away at this point. They go away from from Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham's not really getting any touches. Any touches. It's just a free for all. At the same time, New York is steadily chipping at that lead. They get the lead. They go on a 9-0 run. They end the third, and the fourth quarter started off with the same shenanigans. It was me warrior basketball, selfish basketball. Even though Kelsey Mitchell was hitting a couple shots, she still wasn't. It wasn't that cutting to the basket motion, Natasha Howard cutting to the basket and Kelsey giving her an easy layup. It wasn't none of that. None of that. Aaliyah Boston wasn't trying to dominate in the paint. All she was doing that same crying crap, and it got bad. And then at the beginning of the fourth, Sabrina Ionescu's on the sideline, and the broadcasters Ruco and Rebecca Lobo are talking about the All-Star game fatigue, and I'm like, man, could y'all give me a break with this fatigue crap? It's like going around the whole league, people taking off. Saberly took off for the Liberty, and I'm like, damn, you don't even hardly play. But that was at the 8:30 mark when they said that. Sabrina Ionescu came back into the game shortly after that, and I noticed in this game, they weren't really trying to play defense on Sabrina. They were trying to knock fire from Sabrina. That was the defense, was to, let's just beat up Sabrina. So Boston hits her with a nice screen, knocks fire from her. And for some reason, New York was already on a run. Sabrina comes down, goes baseline, throws a no-look pass to Jonquel Jones, who is wide ass open at the three-point line. Jonquel Jones hits that three, and then it was over. At that point right there, they woke Sabrina Ionescu up. At that point, Sabrina Ionescu was 1 of 9, had 3 freaking points. Sabrina Ionescu passed that ball to Jonquel Jones. She hits that three. She comes right back down. Aaliyah Boston comes down, gets an and one 3-point play. Sabrina Ionescu hits a short jumper from the free throw line. The next play, pick and roll, Breonna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, and I don't know what Ari McDonald is thinking. Sabrina Ionescu blows by Ari Donald, gets the layup. Then Aaliyah Boston comes back down and throws an elbow and hits Sabrina Ionescu. As soon as that play's over, Sabrina Ionescu comes right back down and hits a three right in Natasha Howard's face. Then, the next possession, a turnover by Howard. They go right back down. Natasha Cloud pushes the tempo, finds Sabrina Ionescu, who is wide open again at the three-point line, and she hits another one. That was at the 3-minute and 51-second mark. In that one little burst of minutes, Sabrina Ionescu wiped the floor with the Indiana Fever, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap. They took turns. Jonquel Jones took the first half of the fourth quarter and beat the brakes off of him. She sat down, and Sabrina Ionescu got an activated chip from Aaliyah Boston's dumbass, and it was a nightmare. She went 4 of 6 the last 6 minutes of that game and basically put the Fever away, and that's what it was. That's what it was. It was stupid execution, lack of defense. This was a whole cluster F. This was a whole team failure. The coaching staff, Stephanie White looking inept. Natasha Howard, 27 minutes, 13 points. Aaliyah Boston, 30 minutes, 7 to 13, had 15 points, 12 rebounds. 5 stinking turnovers. 6 assists. Kelsey Mitchell, 11 of 21, shot well. But it was, one thing about Kelsey Mitchell that bothers me is she chooses the wrong spots to try to take over. It's like she doesn't have that switch to where they need me right now. Sophie Cunningham, 33 minutes, 5 of 8, 15 points. It was like they just said, you know what, Sophie, screw you. You're balling. We ain't finna let you shine like that. Ari McDonald, 31 minutes, 5 points. You got to get more from your point guard than that. I'm sorry. For what they were trying to do this game, you just needed more. The bench got destroyed. Lexi Hull, this is by far her worst game. Offensively and defensively. 2 of 10, 7 points. Sydney Colson is there for no reason. 14 minutes. Had one sequence where she stole a ball, lost it, stole it again, and had 2 steals or something like that in one. It was the worst basketball. Worst basketball. Damaris Dantas, bagel. Sydney Colson, bagel. There was a possession on an inbounds, which should be the simplest thing in the world. Dantas throws it into Sydney Colson. I don't know what Sydney Colson was still thinking about her comedy career or what. She just loses the ball out of bounds. Turnover. Indiana had 19 turnovers and 18 assists. Anytime their turnovers are over 12 to 14, they lose damn near every game, and this was another one. The Liberty had 19. They had 19 turnovers as well, but they had 25 assists, and they scored 20 points off of the Fever's turnovers, and that's the difference in this game. That is the difference. The bench scoring, they balled out of control. The Liberty had 23 points off the bench. I mean, Isabel Harrison stepped up, even though I think that play was dirty. Kennedy Burke played very well off the bench. 3 of 5 had 7 points. Maureen Johannes, a big 3. And the main 36 minutes for Breanna Stewart, 17 points. Leonie Febich had the quietest 17 points you'll ever see. It was just like she would just hit you here, hit you here, hit you here, and she had 17. Lexi Hull was getting torched by everybody. Jonquel Jones, like I said, 5 of 13, 18 points, first game back. They missed Jonquel Jones, and you can see the difference in having Jonquel Jones on the team playing and not having her. Natasha Cloud, 26 minutes, 10 points. And Sabrina Ionescu, like I said, shot 5 of 15, but she shot 4 of 6 down the stretch when it mattered and ended up with 13 points. This was a joke. This was a joke of a game. If I had a belt, because they got their ass whooped. In that fourth quarter, they got dismantled from the third to the fourth. Somebody took a belt and said, bend over, and they took it. Gave up 42 points in the paint. They only scored 34. They've been scoring 38 to 42 points in the game consistently in the paint. And tonight they just didn't do it. One thing I did notice that was weird. Why in the hell didn't you play Timpson? Timpson had been getting close to 10 to 15 minutes the last few games. And all of a sudden, Stephanie White, coach's decision, you needed some size. You needed some size against this team. They shot 41%, shot 30 from 3, and 86% from the free throw line. You needed some size. Timpson could have helped. Even Turner, just putting a body out there, would have helped. I'd have liked to see Timpson out there. I thought Timpson had been playing well enough to earn minutes to play. I thought it was a joke that young lady did get the chance to get out in there and play. Her rookie season is getting screwed over by a dumbass coach. Liberty smoked them. 51% from the field, 54% from 3. They only shot 22 of them bad boys. But damn it, when they shot them, they made them. 95% from the three-point line. That's the difference. Execution. The Fever do not execute when it matters most, and that is late and in game, and that is on the coach. Stephanie White is a snake in the grass, and they need to go ahead and get the grass cut and get a lawn. They need to get an exterminator out in Indiana and get rid of the pests and the critters. They need to get rid of that critter Breanna Turner, and they need to damn sure get rid of Stephanie White. Let me know what you guys thought about the game. Let me know what you thought about Coach White's decisions last night, especially that not playing Timpson. Let me know in the comments. Leave your comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.